What is hurricane storm surge? Explain the factors that determine the intensity of storm surge. What is hurricane storm surge? Okay, so 4 points. Storm surge are rogue waves. Okay, their origin is atmospheric winds as the primary factor. The storm surge are related to cyclones and intense low pressure systems, and they are one of the extreme climate hazards. They are rogue waves, they are very large waves. The size of wave की height जो है, it can exceed 3 to 4 meters से ज़्यादा है. Sometimes the wave height can also be 7, 8, 10 meters also. They are rogue as in they are the harmful ones, dangerous ones. They are rogue waves. They are associated with atmospheric winds as the primary factor. They are wind-driven waves. They are unlike tsunamis. Okay, tsunamis are because of tectonic factors, geological factors. They are not tidal waves. Okay, tidal waves alag hote hain. They are atmospheric. They are related to cyclones and intense low pressure, strong low pressure. And I said they are one of the extreme climate hazards, okay, because of cyclones and so on. Okay, the 4 points. What are storm waves? What are the factors that impacts the storm waves intensity? One is the strong winds. Number 2 is intensity of the low pressure. A third is the direction of the winds. A fourth is the depth of the coastal waters. Fifth is the width of the water inlets. And the sixth is tides can also impact those. Winds are the primary factors. Low pressure, jitna strong low pressure hoga, utna strong storm surge hoga. They are related to the direction of the winds. If the winds come oblique, agar tircha aayenge, the storm waves will not be very powerful. Imagine this as a coastline, okay, and the winds are moving like this, then the waves will move parallel to the coast. In that case, the storm surge is not very powerful. But think of a coastline, when the winds are almost perpendicular, then the waves are very powerful waves. The direction of the winds. Then I said depth of the coastal waters. Agar water is shallow waters, then you will have a higher waves, because if you know the concept called as shallow waves. Shallow waves, the wave base will touch the floor of the sea. Keep writing, please. Like, I'm not dictating, does not mean I'm likhenge nahi. Like, you keep writing, keep jotting down the points. I said rogue waves or storm surge, they are one examples of shallow waves. Shallow wave ka matlab kya hai? Their wave base touches the ocean floor. Because the wave base touches the ocean floor, therefore the wave heights will become very high wave heights. So jitna shallow coast hoga, more likely to have strong ones. Then the width of the inlets, agar narrow passages hoga, the waves can become even higher. So narrow creeks, narrow gulfs, where there are inlets, okay, the river valleys are there. Those areas, the waves can become even higher. The width of the inlets. And then I said, if there are tides, if the cyclones coincides with the full moon or the new moon, like it coincides with high tide conditions, then the waves are even higher. The waves are even higher. So this tells us that storm surge are more likely phenomena of the tropical waters. They are more likely phenomena of the tropical waters. So India mein storm surge hai. We have got storm surge along the US and the Canadian coasts, US coast, Mexican coast. We can have storm surge along Australian coast, Japan coast, जितने भी आपके subtropical, okay, low mid latitude coasts हैं, we can have storm surge. Durga, Coriolis force is already subsumed. Okay, Coriolis force decides the winds, the cyclones, and the waves. So, alag se, you don't have to mention Coriolis. Yes, this is the mechanism of the storm surge. Now you write something contemporary, that how storm surge are one of the major impacts of cyclones. The cyclone ka damage is not so much because of winds or rains. It's more because of storm surge along the coasts. Storm surge along the coast. Okay, jitne bhi aapke very powerful ones, Amphan cyclone, you had Ayla cyclone, you had Yas cyclone, Hudhud cyclone, Biparjoy also for that matter. 4-5 naam likh lo aap log. Cyclone Harvey, Hurricane Harvey. Okay. So the 3-4 names, so all of them had very powerful ones. Yes, one in Florida, they had a very powerful hurricane. Yes. Okay. So that's one point. Second point is, now dekho, without me teaching this to you, can you tell me which parts of India are storm surge prone? Which states of India are more likely to have tropical cyclones? Say if I categorize, high vulnerability, mid vulnerability, low vulnerability. आप नाम लिख सकते हो आप? See, you have to create something, right? I say you have to Indian specific. So what are the states which have high vulnerability to storm surge? West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra also I can add. Which one will have, okay, low, okay, impact of storm surge? West Coast, but West Coast में कहाँ पर ज़्यादा? Maybe Konkan Coast. Say Konkan, don't say Maharashtra anymore. Konkan Coast, Malabar will have high, okay, chances. Konkan Coast, Gulf of Cambay, Gulf of Kutch में किसमें कम होगा बताओ? In which Gulf will you have less storm surge? Gulf of Kutch. Gulf of Kutch is more sheltered, okay, away from the coast. That's why we have got 2 large ports there. Okay, so mention Gulf of Kutch, low vulnerability. Konkan Coast, low to moderate vulnerability. High vulnerability, Bengal Coast, Odisha Coast. अच्छा, 2-3 बता सकते हो cities का name. Give me 2 cities or 2 towns of Bengal. 1 or 2 towns of Odisha. 1 or 2 towns of Andhra Pradesh. बता सकते हो? Categorization. Let's see if you know something, whatever you know. Okay, Berhampur, Odisha, southern Odisha. High or low vulnerability? High vulnerability. Okay, if you know Digha Beach, a high vulnerability. Okay, Vishakhapatnam, high vulnerability. That's it. This is your smartness, no? Okay, what are the reasons for storm surge? Okay, and the following parts of India have high vulnerability because of winds, because of tropical locations, and high incidence of tropical cyclones. Bas, okay, इसमें आप लोग, okay, अपना knowledge apply कर रहे हो. So I will shade this. Let me use a yellow color. I'll say these areas are a high vulnerability. Okay, these areas, okay, they have a low vulnerability. Low and convenient is low to moderate कर दो. गलत हो ही नहीं सकती. If you know the basics of geography, you can't go wrong here. Okay, high vulnerability. इसको मैं कर दूंगा high vulnerability. Tamil Nadu, I'm confused. High होगा कि low होगा. डाल दो high to moderate. It can't be low in any case. Okay, so you write down here high to moderate and do something here. Mention some cities. So Vishakhapatnam, Srikakulam, parts of Berhampur, Digha Beach. Mention Mumbai for that matter. Mention Karwar regions, Karnataka. You know Kandla regions here. बस 7-5 नाम हो गया. You have got Bharuch, you have got Bhavnagar. Okay, the following parts of India have different vulnerability to storm surge. बन सकता है आपका आंसर? So talk about the cities. Okay, so very high vulnerability. Entirely indigenous. मैं कुछ पढ़ के नहीं बता रहा हूं. Very high vulnerability. Moderate vulnerability, a low and very low vulnerability. Okay. Mention the name of the coast, mention some cities. Can you give me an idea about क्या height होगा storm surge का waves का? अगर low बता रहे हैं, height क्या होगा waves का? Okay, give me some number. लगता है कि हाँ low height होगा. Less than 1 meter, less than 2 meters. Is it okay? And high क्या होगा? More than, okay, more than 5 meters, 6 meters. That's all. More than 4, you can't go wrong. Okay, so very high vulnerability, storm surge height, more than 4, more than 5 meters. Low moderate, it is less than 1 meter, less than 0.5 meter. And transition wale moderate wale. You're asking, sir, can we bluff from our sides? This is not bluffing. This is smart application of what you have learned. And you can't be wrong. Jaake check kar lena. Some numbers can vary, but the regions, locations, you can't be wrong. All good? So, what are storm surge? What are the factors impacting storm surge? Because of these factors, India mein kahan vulnerability hai? Okay. Conclusion mein, can you talk about some disaster resilience mechanism? Okay. We can have a storm surge management that monitors early warning, okay, evacuations, okay, high platforms and coastal walls. But most important will be the construction of, forestation of mangroves and coral reefs, the natural bulwarks against, okay, coastal erosion and storms. Do you know about some program of mangroves? MISHI program, International Mangrove Alliance. Done. You know about Bhitarkanika forests. Okay. I have in enrichment, I talked about some mangrove plantations of Kochi region. Yaad aa raha hai? They were Mangrove Man of India, yes. Yaad aa raha hai? Bana do usko. Okay. Now this plantation has reduced tropical cyclones impact, sea level rise impact, and storm surge impact also. That's your smartness. पढ़ा कहीं और था, लगा दिया आपने storm surge में. हो गया आंसर? Yes. कुछ याद नहीं आया ना? Add the word international. Okay. Whatever program talking about, program, global program, and say UNEP. Okay. UN भी मान जाएगा, हाँ हमने किया था पक्का, हम याद नहीं है अभी, हमने किया होगा. Okay. Yes. क्या लिखोगे बता? हाँ क्या लिखना चाह रहे हो? टेल मी. हरिकेन के बारे में क्या लिखोगे? Please do it, no problem. This is you can do that, no problem. My idea is prepare example case study जो paper 1, paper 2 में चिपका सकते हो एक साथ. That's why I want to have more case studies from India. Same case study paper में लगा दो, paper 2 में लगा दो. But if you know something more about, आपके model answer में है, case study on Florida है, पढ़ लेना आप उसे. I am trying to teach you कि exam hall में सोचा कैसे जाता है. Yeah, early warning systems, evacuation systems, okay, mapping of storm surge vulnerability. Okay, it's part of tropical zone cyclone control programs. Okay, role of regional cyclone warning systems, IMD. लिखो जो लिखना है उसके बाद. एक बार आपका मेन आंसर बन गया, उसके बाद जितना गोली देना है दो, नो प्रॉब्लम. अब तुम कितना लिख सकते हो, दैट्स डिफरेंट. क्या ये सब आप लिख सकते हो 10 मार्क में? यस. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ फास्ट यू राइट. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ स्मार्ट यू कैन यूज डायग्राम्स एंड बी थ्रू विद इट. मैंने ये सब ना डायग्राम बना के छोड़ देना है. द फॉलोइंग आर द स्टॉर्म सर्ज वल्नरेबल रीजन्स ऑफ इंडिया. यहीं पर जोन 1, जोन 2, जोन 3, जोन 4, जोन 5, high vulnerability, high to moderate vulnerability, high vulnerability, moderate and low, moderate and low. And cities नहीं लिख देंगे, खत्म मेरा diagram. I have to give the examiner the confidence. I know how to apply content. I don't know if I shared with you guys or not. One of my classmates, okay, back from college days, he's been trying to get his daughter into some of those premium colleges of US, of London, and all of that. And he's training her for many things. Training him for, they do all kind of profile building for their children. Okay? And then he's searching, what is it these colleges look for? When they're taking admission, what are they looking for? What criteria is there? And what he came across was beautiful. He said, the only criteria they're looking for is the child capable of changing the world or not? They're looking for world changers. Okay. So otherwise, any project is not impressive. And the whole US knows now, India में project का certificate मिल जाता है. Okay, कुत्ता खिला रहे हैं, बिल्ली पाल रहे हैं, okay, blind लोगों को पढ़ा रहे हैं. कब करते हो यार? I mean, I do not know when they do it. So they know what is being managed. The essays they make you write and the interviews that they have, that's where you get caught. The fundamental the testing is the child capable of that type of skills to change and lead the world? If I ask you, what is UPSC looking at? Is your ability to apply content to real life conditions, geography में, show that with maps. आप apply कर पा रहे हो कि नहीं? So only mechanical water storm surge? Nothing. Apply with current affairs, apply with a map, apply with a program, you are home. Word limit. Okay. Word limit important nahi hai. Merely important है time limit. If you write slow, your word limit is 50 words. Write fast, likho 200 words. So not the word limit, it is your time limit more important.